Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Skylar Baku, and in this video I really want to talk about your blood work. So if you've ever gotten some blood work drawn, because you had some symptoms or thought something wasn't right and then you were super confused or disappointed because all the blood work came back negative or normal, well, this video will be super good for you and I'd really like you to watch it. So, recently I ordered some blood work for a friend. They had some unexplained symptoms, they had some fatigue, unexplained weight loss. So when the results came back, I do what I normally do, and I take all the numbers, and I'll put those results up against my functional ranges to see if anything stood out. And, not to my surprise, he had a handful of markers that were, out of place, indicating maybe he was inflamed or his liver was struggling and his vitamin D was low and so on. And all these things, they could explain his symptoms. So when we're going over the blood work together, his results, with him, he's looking at the lab paperwork and he's looking at my paperwork, with all my functional ranges. And he asked me, well, why on the lab paperwork everything looks fine and everything looks normal when you're showing me all these things are off? And this is what brings me to the point of this video. You guys, the labs use these huge ranges, okay, that are averages of average people, assuming that must be what healthy ranges are. Well, guess what? The average person, American, isn't super healthy. Sorry to say that, but, and I'm not talking about just not having symptoms, because just because you don't have symptoms doesn't mean you're healthy, okay? Or just because your symptoms does not mean you're, or you're not sick in the moment doesn't mean you're not, doesn't mean you're healthy. So I'm talking about true optimal health. And here's the one thing, those ranges are so wide that you're not gonna see a problem until your numbers are so bad that they're out of their ranges. And that's usually when the problem's already progressed to an actual disease process. For instance, diabetes or high cholesterol or, a liver or kidney problem or an autoimmune disease. So when you tighten up those big ranges, where a truly, a healthy person would be, you get to see where things are off before they become even bigger problem or become a disease, or you catch things that your doctor otherwise would consider normal when you know darn well something isn't normal. All right? So have you ever had that happen to you? Have you ever had those symptoms? You didn't feel good, you didn't feel right, so you asked your doctor to run some blood tests for you, and they said everything looks normal, everything's fine? Well, I can almost guarantee that if you're already feeling bad or have symptoms or anything like that, something's not normal, and they're just not looking for it correctly, And it's not like, I'm running any fancy tests, though most of the blood work I see people bring into the office seem to be missing some very basic tests, surprisingly, but whatever, like for inflammation or vitamin D. Anyway, that's why I love to run blood work for patients, or why I love to review blood work, even if you've already had it, especially if your doctor already said everything's normal, all right? I'm sorry, but you can't always trust that when they're using those huge lab ranges that, according to them are normal. And, another thing I want to talk about, the worse the population's health gets, the bigger those ranges are going to continue to become. It's called normalizing pathology. And it's not the right thing to do, but guess what? That's what they're doing. So make sure you're getting your blood work reviewed by someone who's using those functional ranges that healthy people are in. So don't go off what the labs are saying, because you're going to miss a lot of things that could have been treated sooner, before they became a huge issue, and now your doc wants you on all this medication to fix it, Always think about prevention and catching illness and disease early, all right? Hope you guys enjoyed that. Stay healthy, my friends. I'm Dr. Skylar Baku. Y'all take care.